Okay, so we're going to start this episode. Hi, I'm Iyaz.
Hi, I'm Rob.
You're Rob? No way.
Yeah.
I know a guy named Rob.
I think that's me.
I think you're right. Okay, so this is Killing Time, where we entertainingly review entertainment. So what have you been watching on TV or movies? What have you been doing for entertainment?
I've been catching up on the latest season of Criminal Minds.
Criminal Minds. That's not Criminal Intent. What is Criminal Minds?
Criminal Minds is it's a show about FBI profilers who pretty much give a psychological profile of serial killers, and then with that profile go and catch the serial killer.
What network is that on?
CBS.
Criminal Minds. I don't know. I don't know if I'm old enough for CBS. It must be if you're like slightly older than me.
Yeah,
Maybe
a couple of months. Yeah.
That'll do it. So you like this show? You think people should watch it?
I do like the show. I think people should watch it. There's some pretty good actors who weren't good actors in previous things they did, but they seem to get better when they're on the show, such as the guy who played Greg from Dahmer and Greg.
That guy, I don't know his name either. But
I don't know.
Okay, so if you had to recommend this show to other people, what other shows would they like? So like if you like
Criminal Minds, you'd probably a fan of something like Cold Case, CSI, those kind of type of shows.
You're
CBS
saying
shows.
if you're somebody who only has one channel available
And watch CBS, yes.
If you watch CBS, you will like this show because it's on CBS?
Pretty much, because they show all the same type of shows.
Now, I've been looking for new horror movies. Well, not new ones, but ones I haven't seen. I saw this one called Penance. It's from 2009. Now, have you seen this one?
I have not.
Okay, it's one of those movies where they go, oh, we found a bunch of tapes from an abandoned mental asylum, right? You're like, oh, okay, that could be interesting. Okay, so the plot of the movie is non-existent. That's the first thing, because we have found tapes. Oddly enough, even though we have found tapes, we have a score. Like, music swells, and there's actual, like dun, 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 dun. Like, that shouldn't happen in movies that you just find tapes. And let's see. There's a typo in the epilogue. They spell anonymous wrong, which took me completely out of the movie. Never mind the fact the movie has the standard, okay, you care about one character. It's basically torture porn. You ever watch Hostel?
Mm-hmm.
You know how Hostel, you don't really care about the characters, and you're like, okay, so what am I watching? Just a bunch of, like, this gross kind of things? That's basically what this is. It's just torture, and it's not good torture. It's not good anything. It's just like, you kind of care about the main character, and then you get disappointed that this movie is still going on, and then I told you that, again, the fact that it's found tapes and there's a score threw me off a bit. It's not good. So if you're going to go through crap, don't watch Penance 2009. I mean, from 2009, because it wasn't very good. But I did see a decent movie called World's Greatest Dad. Ever heard of it?
Heard of it, never seen it.
With Robin Williams, and it was
Yes.
it was directed by Bobcat Goldthwait.
My name is Lance Clayton. I'm a writer, but so far nothing I've written has ever been published. Ernest Hemingway once said, all he wanted to do was write one true sentence. He also tried to scratch an itch in the back of his head with a shotgun.
Your poetry course, it's not very popular.
There's poetry, sir.
Does it bother you that I have male friends?
Not at all. Why don't we do something together tomorrow?
Yeah, like build a rocket?
Sure, if you want to.
That's retarded.
Yeah.
Really, really dark comedy. Came out years ago. I never heard of it until I found it like on one of these lists. I think it's worth checking out. I can't even tell you much about it without ruining it. So I don't. But it's not Robin Williams over the top. It's a kind of a subtle performance. It's not one of those. He's not playing creepy or anything. He's just like. Just imagine if Robin Williams never took any drugs.
Okay.
Right? So like he's kind of chill, but like it works in this movie. So I definitely suggest watching World's Greatest Dad. It's available on DVD now. So any other things you're watching?
What else am I watching?
Are you reading books?
I read books. Reading The Strain by the same guy that did Hellboy. book is pretty much about vampires.
Vampires. Is there a reason you're going back to the vampires?
I don't know. Someone gave it to me, said I should read it.
Aha. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go far off into another realm here. We're going to go mine the killing time ideas. I'm going to maybe cut this together. I'm going to give you the top 3 hardcover fiction book titles, and you tell me what they are.
Okay.
You tell me what they're about.
Yeah.
Okay, at number 3,
Okay.
Private. What's it about?
Private. It's about a young private in the Army. He goes through boot camp, and then immediately gets sent to the front line in Iraq.
Totally wrong. The head of an investigation company pursues the murderer of his best friend's wife.
I was so close.
I guess I should have said private, not private.
Okay.
I guess it was like privacy.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
This one sounds very descriptive. At number 2 in the hardcover fiction New York Times bestseller list, The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest.
The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm going to go with this is a girl who tried to infiltrate the mafia, which is the Hornet's Nest. And when she got in there, they found out along the way that she was actually an undercover FBI agent trying to find information on their illicit dealings.
I think this is quite possible. You're kind of close. The 3rd volume of a trilogy about a Swedish hacker and a journalist. Maybe they went undercover. I don't know.
So close. I mean,
And at number 1, The Search by Nora Roberts. What do you know?
The Search. Mm-hmm. Well, the fact that it's by Nora Roberts means it's some of that romantic crap. Means it's the same old story of a woman who has been alone her entire life, and now she's looking for a man. This man comes in the form of Fabio, and is so freaking amazing that every woman who reads the book wants to be with this man.
That's very close. There's a guy, there's a girl, a little different. The only survivor of a serial killer has found peace in the Pacific Northwest, but her life is shaken by the appearance of a new man and a copycat murderer. So I think it's kind of a romance. I think you're right. I think
Definitely.
it could be the love of her life that tries to kill her. So I think that's very impressive.
Everybody's got to meet somehow.
That's awesome. I wonder if there's any other The 1,000 Autumns of Jacob de Zoet.
The 1,000 Autumns of Jacob de Zoet. Mm-hmm. Now, this is a similar story to like a Dorian Gray. This man lives forever. He is almost 1,000 years old. He's actually turning 1,000 years old this autumn. And he's reminiscing about the 1,000 autumns he's had. It's actually going to be in 10 parts, each part being a century.
Forbidden Love in Edo-era Japan. So
Damn.
Totally off.
Wow.
And, actually, there's a couple of these that are kind of funny. Okay, Ice Cold. What's Ice Cold? By Tess Gerritsen.
Ice Cold. It's a man's search for a really, really cold beer.
A group of friends are murdered when they take refuge in a remote abandoned village in Wyoming.
Damn it. Is there beer in the village?
There could have been beer. Maybe that's why they went to the village. Why else would you go to an abandoned village? And Family Ties by Danielle Steele.
Family Ties by Danielle Steele. This is behind the scenes of the classic...
It's a fiction book. Don't forget.
Oh, it's a fiction. Okay. It's a fictional behind the scenes of what happened in Family Ties, Alex P. Keaton.
Again, you should be writing books because this is nowhere near as fun as that. A woman who raised her deceased sister's 3 children must juggle their needs, her business, and the new man in her life.
I think my ideas are much better for these names.
So, based on any of these descriptions, do you want to read any of these books? I think Ice Cold sounds kind of nice.
Ice Cold's about the only one.
You don't want to read about the Edo era Japan?
No, I'm good.
All right, that's it for this episode. So long, farewell.
Bye.
I'll be the same.